Chapter 33. Howbeit, Job, I pray you, hear my speech, and hearken to all my words. Behold now, I have opened my mouth, and my tongue has spoken in my mouth. My words shall utter the uprightness of my heart, and that which my lips know they shall speak sincerely. The Spirit of God hath made me, and the breath of the Almighty given me life. If you canst, answer you me. Set your words in order before me. Stand forth. Behold, I am toward God even as you are. I also am formed out of the clay. Behold, my terror shall not make you afraid, neither shall my pressure be heavy upon you. Surely you have spoken in my hearing, and I have heard the voice of your words. I am clean, without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me. Behold, he findeth occasion against me. He counteth me for his enemy. He putteth my feet in the stocks. He marketh all my paths. Behold, I answer you, and you art not right, that God is too great for man. Why have you striven against him, seeing that he will not answer any of his words? For God speaketh one way, yea, in two, though man perceiveth it not. In a dream and a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon a man, in slumberings upon the bed. Then he openeth the ears of men, and by their chastisement sealeth the decree, that men may put away their purpose, and that he may hide pride from man, that he may keep back his soul from the pit, and his life from perishing by the sword. He is chastened. He is chastened also with pain upon his bed, and all his bones grow stiff, so that his life maketh to abhor bread, and his soul dainty food. His flesh is consumed away, that it cannot be seen, and his bones corrode to unsightliness. Yea, his soul draweth near unto the pit, and his life to the destroyers. If there be for him an angel, an intercessor, one among 1,000, to vouch for a man's uprightness, then he is gracious unto him. And he saith, Deliver him from going down to the pit. I have found a ransom. His flesh is tenderer than a child's. He returneth to the days of his youth. He prayeth unto God, and he is favorable unto him, so that he seeth his face with joy. He restoreth unto a man his righteousness. He cometh before men, and saith, I have sinned, and perverted that which was right, and profited me not. So he redeemeth his soul from going into the pit, and his life beholdeth the light. Lo, all these things doth God work, twice, yea, thrice with a man, to bring back his soul from the pit, that he may be enlightened with the light of the living. Mark well, O Job, hearken unto me. Hold your peace, and I will speak. If you have anything to say, answer me. Speak, for I desire to justify you. If not, hearken you unto me. Hold your peace, and I will teach you wisdom. All right. Let's go back up, verse 1. Now, in the last chapter, everybody was pretty much done talking. They were sitting there in silence. And now Elihu, that is the mighty one himself, he is the one that comes forth from Barachel, or the blessed of the mighty one, the blessing of the mighty one, the Botsi. That's those that spring forth from evil. He's of the family of Ram, and that is those that are exalted. He's going to speak up. He's a young man. And he sat there and he's listening to these other gentlemen speak, the older gentlemen as he calls them. They're much older than him, and he thought that they should speak before he did. This would be respectful and to give them the chance to speak, since they should know more than Elihu, for he's just a young man. But Elihu explains that it's not age that gives a man wisdom. It's the Spirit of God and the spirit of man that's within him that where understanding comes from. And we'll find out understanding comes from the law of God. God said that's your understanding, that's your knowledge, that's your wisdom. He wrote it on your heart even, and we'll find out that is where understanding comes from. It comes from within us. Because God gives it to us. God turns us in our way. We're going to pick it up here in verse 1. Howbeit, Job, I pray you, hear my speech and hearken to all my words. Howbeit, what he's saying is, now, Job, I pray you, hear my words. Listen to what I got to say. 2. Behold now, I have opened my mouth, and my tongue is spoken in my mouth. He says, I've already started to speak. You might as well listen to me now. 3. My words shall utter the uprightness of my heart, and that which my lips know they shall speak sincerely. He says, I'm going to tell you everything I understand, what keeps me upright and before the Lord in my understanding, and I'm going to speak to you now sincerely, and it's from the heart. 4. Or from my inner understandings. 4. The Spirit of God hath made me, and the breath of the Almighty given me life. He says the Spirit of God, or this Spirit is a ruach. It's that from God even, this Spirit, the breath of life itself actually, and the breath of the Almighty has given me life. This breath, and just like the breath that we breathe by, that which sustains the life. 5. If you can, answer you me, set your words in order before me, and stand forth. So Elihu's saying now, if you can answer, if you've got something to say, in other words, and then stand up and let us know what they are. 6. Behold, I am toward God even as you are. I also am formed out of clay. See, now I'm just like God before you. I'm also a man, flesh and blood. This formed out of clay, that made from the earth. The clay is the dust that's been moistened. And that is what God made you out of, the clay, in the beginning. 7. Behold, my terror shall not make you afraid, neither shall my pressure be heavy upon you. Behold, now watch, look and see, or I'm not going to try to scare you. I'm not going to try to oppress you or bring you down, just, well, kind of like these others have. 8. Surely you have spoken in my hearing, and I've heard the voice of your words. Surely now that when you was speaking, I heard what you was saying. 9. I am clean, without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me. And that's what Job was saying. I am clean. See, I'm without transgression. I'm innocent. I haven't done anything, is what Job was saying. And Elihu's basically repeating these things that Job have said. Behold, he finds occasion against me, and he counteth me for his enemy. And right now, that's kind of the way Job was feeling, that God was looking for an occasion, trying to get Job to do something wrong, and had counted him for an enemy, as if one that he hated, as if one that he didn't like. And that's basically what Job means. 11. He putteth my feet in stocks, he marketh all my paths. And that's what Job said. He's put my feet in these stocks. He's prevented me from going, these feet, those things which I go on my path. See? And he has put them in stocks. He has prevented me from progress. He has prevented me from going on. He marks all my paths. He knows which way I'm going to go, if I'm going to turn to the left or turn to the right or go. God already knows. And he has already set there the snare upon the path. 12. Behold, I answer you, in this you are not right, that God is too great for man. Now Elihu's saying, I've heard all this that you said, Job, but now listen, I'm going to tell you that you are not right, that God is too great for man, that God is too great, he's unreachable, that his understandings can't be achieved. 13. Why have you striven against him, seeing that he will not answer any of his words? Why do you strive against God? Why are you coming against God, seeing that he will not answer any of his words? God's not going to repeat this answer here. It should be, he's not going to recount. He's not going to repeat or restate any of his words or his speech, those things which he said. God spoke the law in the beginning, and it went forth. Just like the word, when God said, let there be light, and there was. See, the light came forth, because that's the way God's word works. He speaks, and it goes forth to do his work. 14. For God speaks in one way, yea, in two, though man perceives it not. For God does speak in one way, or here it says one way is that is in the beginning, that he had one way, but yea, in two, though man doesn't perceive it. Two is always a witness, and we can witness there by the two ways God speaks. Though man does not perceive these things, man doesn't understand these things, the way God speaks. Because, see, we're used to the way everybody's speaking here, and we audibly, though, where we can hear it with our ears of the flesh. But, see, God speaks within, and we're going to find out, in a dream, 15, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed. In dreams, in visions of the night, when God's trying to teach you there. He opens your ear. See, God has the ability to open the ear. God has the ability to shut your ear up so you don't get no understanding too. These periods of time when at night, during the darkness, and these visions, these understandings that come forth, when we lay in bed, that's that place where we made for ourselves, and we think about what we've done. And if we've done wrong, we'll find out a wicked man doesn't consider these things. But somebody who tries to stand before God, he thinks to himself, how have I harmed anybody? What wrong have I done? 16. Then he opens the ears of men, and by their chastisement sealeth the decree. Then he opens the ear, when man considers to himself these things which he's done. He gives him some understanding, and see, and by their chastisement, by the punishment within, that punishment, it's self-discipline actually, he sealeth the decree. He makes it so, and he turns a man upon his bed, 17, that men may put away their purpose, and that he may hide pride from man. That men may put away their purpose, or these things which they do, or these things which they purpose to do, or thinking about doing, that he may hide pride from men. This pride, to lifting up yourself, to exalting yourself. 18, that he may keep back his soul from the pit, and his life from perishing by the sword. That he may keep back, that God may keep back his soul from the pit. Because, see, it's not God's wish or God's want that anyone should perish, so that any life should perish. We wouldn't want our children to perish. See, God wants to save. God wants to deliver. God wants to tell you that when you're in error, and he wants you to listen. 19, he is chastened also with pain upon his bed, and all his bones grow stiff. He is chastened, or he is punished. He's being punished, is chastened, or being corrected, also with the pain upon his bed, and his bones grow stiff. His bones grow stiff. He thinks about those things. This is his essence that he's done. These things that have made him rigid upon his bed. And that bed, once again, it's what you've made for yourself in life. This bed, we can look at it as a bed. It's that what you're going to lie on and rest. That's what you're trying to make for yourself in life. Some rest. We'll find out that we are all weary. 20. So that his life makes him to a pot of bread, and his soul dainty food. So that his life, this that he's been given, it makes him to a potter, hate. He doesn't want bread, and his soul this dainty food. Well, these pleasant things, we'll find out. We can compare this to the labor of men. They don't want as much bread. They try to live on less, see, because the oppression of the work is so great that it causes a man to bring it to his mouth by pain, by suffering. And this is what we're talking about. That he don't want it. His soul doesn't want that dainty food, that pleasurable food. That what's costing him so much. 21. His flesh is consumed away, and that it cannot be seen, and his bones corrode to unsightliness. His flesh is consumed away. This that is of the earth. It's consumed away. It can't last. It's something we always got to be coming after, going after. And it can't be seen. We're constantly chasing this. And then what it is tomorrow. It's our understandings for tomorrow. It's that which we seek. So, well, we can have tomorrow. And his bones corrode to unsightliness. His essence corrodes, or is withered away to the point of unsightliness. And we can look at this as if one who is laying there dying. 22. Yea, his soul draweth near unto the pit. and his life to the destroyers. His soul draws near to the pit. That which God put in you, it's the breath of God. It's that which has the life within the flesh. It draws near to the pit. That's that hole. See, that's that trap that's made for the soul, led there by the flesh. That's his life to the destroyers, because, well, see, he's delivered over to the lack of understanding. He's delivered over to idolatry. He's delivered over to these that seek to destroy. They're the destroyers. They're the fire. That's that which devours. 23. There be for him an angel, an intercessor, one among 1,000 to vouch for a man's uprightness. But now if there be an angel is a representative. It's if God was the sheriff, it would be his deputy. See, in that kind of understanding, one who would be dispatched to carry out his orders. We'll find out this is an intercessor, one who's going to come and vouch for you or be a witness. So this angel is a witness, one among 1,000. And this one, even one among the judgments of God, one among even all these things that are going to fulfill your understanding, who can vouch for a man's uprightness or vouch for his justness, these things that he's actually done right, saying, well, he has done this or he has done that in the good intent of his heart. 24. And he is gracious unto him, and he says, deliver him from going down to the pit. I found a ransom. Then we'll find out God's gracious unto him, because God's not trying to destroy anyone. He delivers him from going down to the pit. He delivers him from the grave. He delivers him from that's the pit, the grave. That's that hole you will arrive in. This pit, or it's something you can't get out of. It's like a hole or a trap you fell into. It's something you can't escape. He says, I have found a ransom. I found a witness. I found someone who will stand up and say, well, look, he has had this good intent. 25. His flesh is tenderer than a child. He returneth to the days of his youth. Then his flesh is tenderer than a child. He's renewed. He's renewed his flesh. That which actually did the sin, or that which carried out the inner thought, we'll find out this flesh is renewed. God forgives. See, God redeems. He returneth to the days of his youth. He returns to these understandings of before. He gets a new start. It's like a brand new beginning. See, God can do that. God makes new beginnings, remember. 26. He prays unto God, and he is favorable unto him, so that he sees his face with joy, and he restores unto man his righteousness. So he prays unto God, and he is favorable unto him. And God finds favor in this when he calls out to God, and he prays unto God, and he recognizes God is greater, and and this is all the work of God, trying to put him in his turn, trying to cause him to come around to the understanding that God gave you in the beginning, that he put in your heart to follow God, to listen to God. And he restores unto man his righteousness, or his justness. He sees his face. He sees these things that he's made plain with joy, because he has done that which was right before God. 27. He comes before men and says, I have sinned and perverted that which was right, and it profited me not. And he comes before men. And men, he doesn't have to come and say that he's sinned. I'm a sinner. I perverted that which was right. But just to correct his way, and men see these things. Men notice these things, and they say, now, surely, he has turned. He seeks to correct himself. 28. So he redeems his soul from going into the pit, and his life beholds the light. So now God redeems his soul from going into the pit. He has saved him. And his life, or that which he's given, see, it beholds the light. It has some understanding. It can see the truth. See, that God has done this, that God has saved me, God has done this. 29, lo, all these things doth God work. Twice, Yea, thrice with a man. Lo now, all these things doth God work. This that would be the work of God. How he would, that's what he seeks to do, is to turn, to redeem, to bring you back to the understanding what God gave you in the beginning. See, twice, now it's a witness, that, see, God has that ability to do these things. Yea, thrice, and three times, see, by this it's confirmed that this is the work of God, and this is how God works. 30. To bring back his soul from the pit, that he may be enlightened with the light of the living. To bring back his soul from the pit, see, because that is death. The pit is death, the pit is the grave, the pit is the hole, the trap, the snare you can't get out of. See, and God wishes to redeem his life back up out of the hole, that he may be enlightened with the light of the living. And the living are those that observe the understanding of God, or the law, or the Torah, however you want to say it. It's all one thing. See, this is the light of the living. Remember, God said choose life or choose death. And you do that by either listening to the law God put upon your heart or not. See, and God said choose life, because the law is the light of the living. And we see the light, and what that light is, it's a fire that burns from the judgment of God. God set it there in the beginning so we could see this and have some understanding of it. We also see the cloud and all the confusion of God in the earth. 31. Mark well, Job, hearken unto me. Hold your peace, and I will speak. Mark it well, Job. No, that one that's hated, that one that's being browbeaten, that one that's looked down upon. Mark it well, and that's take good notice of it, and listen unto me. Hold your peace, and I will speak. Now, just be quiet for a minute and hold what you got to say. We'll find he's going to speak. 32. If you have anything to say, answer me. Speak, for I desire to justify you. So, Elihu's going to tell you, now, if you've got anything to say now, go ahead. Now's the time to answer up and speak, because I want to justify you. I want to make you correct. 33. If not, hearken you unto me, and hold your peace. I will teach you wisdom. If not, if you ain't got nothing to say, listen to me. Then listen to what I've got to say and hold your peace. Hold what you've got to say for a minute, and I will teach you wisdom. Elihu is going to claim that he has some wisdom, even though what Elihu's going to say is only that from his short life experience, and that he knows that it's the law of God that turns a man. It's these understandings, the same one. But Elihu's young, and he's just glad to have a chance to speak here. He is going to try to set himself in here among the wise men, and actually he's going to have just as much understanding as they do. We'll find out. Understanding is something that God gives everybody. No one can get any more than another, because there's only so much that God allows at any one time. It's just like the manna that comes down from heaven. You can gather all you want, but see, you're only going to get so much. We're going to move forward to chapter 34. Turn and return.